Super special thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video. I'll talk to you guys more about them later. What's up guys, Omni here. You guys know how it goes, another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I sleep. What recent news, topic, tweets, videos you want me to talk about tomorrow? Hey guys, today is Thursday, something November. Okay, maybe we got the first week of November. How are you guys doing? Sorry, I said that I was going to make a video like on Tuesday, but then again, this injury that I got is really, it sucks, bro. It sucks. Again, I need to make a video about it. It's a whole story. It's a whole story. You will never guess which body part of mine have exploded. Never in 1,000 years, but I've been dealing with that, so it kind of created a gap. But I'm back, okay? I've recovered again temporarily. Before we get started in today's news, I just want to say, hey guys, I love y'all and I appreciate y'all, man. It's been a while. I think maybe because Thanksgiving's coming, you know, and I'm feeling grateful, feeling gratitude, practicing gratitude, you know, just been reflecting, and I'm like, you know what, man, I appreciate y'all. Like, I appreciate this community. I don't take y'all for granted. I love what we do here. I love the energy that we got here, and I just want to say thank you. Okay, this I don't, you know, I don't always come here. I'm going to show you my gratitude. Here's one of the boys. This is Chase. Comes to say hi. He's super furry, super duper furry. Okay, I showed you one of my babies. This is love. Okay. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. That's it. Just want to say that. That's all. That's it. All right, let's get in today's news. What did I miss over the past 2 days? Couldn't be much, right? Flameku said Mizkif is suing Emory and Asmongold. Oh my lord. Oh Lord Jesus. Oh gosh. Okay. I was wondering what the first bomb was going to be. We've talked about the whole Mizkif and Emory situation to death. If you guys are just now watching this video, you have no idea what's going on. Quick TLDR is that guy's a streamer. Okay, his name is Mizkif. All right, not a good dude. All right, not a good dude whatsoever. Okay, just got out of a situation where his ex-girlfriend Emory made a video talking about how she basically got destroyed by him in every single way that you can think about. He came out the same day to make a video to basically respond to it. It was not good. It was an absolute nightmare. But he said that he was going to take everybody down. He was going to go full nuclear, and he was going to expose the all the streamers and everything he knows like it's the Epstein files. Okay, and ever since then we haven't heard back from him until now. It looks like Mizkif is now again suing both Emory and Asmongold for defamation. However, from what I hear as well, though, he's might be getting countersued, okay? Because I'll get into it. I'm jumping a little ahead to it, okay? Let's go one step at a time. Yeah, it says he is seeking damages for reputational harm, lost earnings, and emotional distress. Oh my god, oh my, so and Asmongold too? He's suing, okay, first of all, suing Emory, I guess maybe from that video, sounds like he had that in his pocket and his sleeve ready, but Asmongold, you're going to, there's no way you sue Asmongold and win, not with the amount of evidence that he probably has and the amount of evidence that we've received from Mizkif himself. There's no way, right? This article by Exerto goes on to say the lawsuit filed in federal court claims that the allegations leveled against Mizkif were false and have subsequently caused, quote, significant harm to his reputation and career. Not only does it take aim at Emory's comments, but how the accusations were then circulated and supported by others in the streaming space. Asmongold being a key target, Mizkif is fired back in the courts, claiming the fellow influencer only boosted the virality of the claim. So that's wild. So suing Asmongold for boosting the virality of Emory's claims was going viral with or without Asmongold. Everybody was paying attention to this. This was the entire streamer space because Emory was just in the center limelight for what happened to her at TwitchCon. Okay, she was assaulted literally at TwitchCon, and now she's having to deal with another dude. So this was on everybody's radar. So that's pretty interesting to say that. I guess he boosted the virality, but I mean, it's Asmongold. He's one of the maybe the biggest streamer of all time right now. So I guess there's that. It reads, defendants Sean Coit and OTK have, acting in concert, wrongfully and basefully accused Ronaldo of serious criminal activity for no purpose other than to harm him, his reputation, and his business, and wrest from him control of the companies that he helped build, the lawsuit reads. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Mizkif was also one of the co-founding members of OTK. I don't know how much he had invested in there, but yeah, he was one of the big boys that were in there in the beginning there originally. It reads here, furthermore, the lawsuit seeks to shut down the notion of the contractual breaches with OTK, Mythic Talent and King Games Labs, with the latter two claiming to be owed a collective $900,000 in fees from Mizkif. What? What? The lawsuit also states OTK, Mythic Talent, nor King Gaming Labs sought Mizkif for comment on the allegations before terminating their partnerships, although no exact dollar amount was disclosed in the lawsuit. Kazan reports Mizkif is seeking compensation for reputational harm, lost earnings, and emotional distress. So is this man suing Emory and Asmongold to try to offset the $1 million in fees that he owes to Mythic Talent and King Gaming Labs? Apparently, and I'll get to it really quickly, but I think he might have breached contract, according to a couple of sources, which has led to this absorbent amount of fees that he owes. And in terms of Asmongold, I believe that he's kind of like not saying much at this point because he needs to kind of gather his bearings, is my guess. And also, when it comes to like, you know, lawsuits, usually saying less is more. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, I can't talk right now. All right, I'm taking care of it. I'll talk once it's kind of done type situation. Some of the comments below pointing out some of the dangers of Mizkif basically coming out and suing, the fact that he's opening himself up to discovery. This person here is saying that the initial filing 12 pages long and half of his appearance, intro jurisdiction, attorney signatures, blah, blah, blah. So his actual complaint is roughly 6 to 7 pages for a defamation case allegedly worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions. That's a red flag to begin with. On top of that, he literally turned on his stream and spent 30 minutes admitting and confirming that he was in an abusive relationship. And the biggest part of defamation is not only proving that it can be easily verified that the accusations against you are false, but that others know they are false. So how can that happen when you admit it to things on camera? Yeah. So I remember when he was doing that big stream, I was like, this is a bad idea, brother. This is super bad. And that might have been one of the worst streams that I have ever seen. Like and for so many freaking reasons. Absolutely terrifying, actually triggering for some people as well. It was very strange and weird, but it might have saved everything that can happen with Emory and Asmongold for this case, because he literally admitted to doing things that were not good, right? He admitted to punching walls, okay, and having violent behavior. He admitted to almost every claim that Emory made and was kind of saying like, well, I did this, but it was because I was in different times and we were trauma bonded and XYZ, more so kind of justify it. And then it felt like more so he was trying to spin it to say, but anyway, Emory also mistreated her rabbits. And she's not a good person as well. And that was his kind of like his push was to be like, we're both bad, as opposed to kind of like say, no, I didn't do any of the things that was being claimed. In regards to the actual lawsuit, okay, best friend kick, okay, he actually had a reference here inside of the actual lawsuit. So we got lawsuits, by the way. I don't know if you guys know this, chat, okay? But we got lawsuits that now are referencing Twitter accounts, bro. Like Yeet and all of these guys and Pop Base, and there's going to be YouTube videos and clips, okay? And this is the future, the dystopian future that we are in. We're at the bottom, it'll be like reference. It'll be like live stream fails or some jazz like that, bro. But yeah, apparently when it comes to the lawsuit, there was a clip that got played. I'll show you the clip first, and then I'll show you why Mizkif is basically being, reprimanded for breaching contract, which is leading to millions of dollars worth of management fees.
Like get less hate.
Well, yeah, if I get my reputation back.
Right, okay.
But I don't know how to get my reputation back because I feel like I'm so far in the deep end, I might as well keep swimming. You smell me? Like, fuck streamers, fuck all of them,
yep.
Fuck everybody, fuck FaZe Clan, fuck the fourth floor, fuck OTK, fuck everybody. I'm just going to start being a solo streamer. I never needed anybody. They needed me. At the end of the day, I was always supporting them, but they never supported me at the end. So fuck all these people, bro.
We should just do a therapy session.
So yeah, I think that was the clip because yeah, if you guys don't know, there's a disparagement clause for a lot of the companies that you're with that says that you're not allowed to talk smack about the company that you're currently employed with. That's usually how it works for most companies. It's pretty standard procedure. Now, guys, before we get further in today's topics, I'm happy to announce that today's video is sponsored by Rocket Money. Guys, I've said this before, you know my anthem. Keep your body tight and get your money right. But sometimes those monthly subscriptions and expenses stack up faster than you realize, to the point where you're spending way more than you actually thought you were. That's where Rocket Money comes in. Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance app that helps you save more and spend less. You can manage subscriptions, lower bills, monitor your credit score, and build your savings goals all in one place. Forgot that you were paying for some random subscription that you don't even use anymore? We've all been there. With Rocket Money, they help you locate, track, and cancel unwanted subscriptions with just a couple of taps. And if you're trying to grow your net worth but you aren't too money savvy, Rocket Money can give you a clear snapshot of all your finances, from cash and debt to investments and retirement, all in an easy to understand interface. Over 10 million people use Rocket Money to take control of their finances, including me. At the end of the day, I'm an accountant, okay? I know money and I know how to track it. I'm just lazy. Rocket Money makes it easy so I don't have to do all of that, okay? Which saves me a lot of time and money. So yeah, guys, what are you waiting for? You guys can go to https://rocketmoney.com/omni or scan the QR code on the screen to get started for free. Again, that's https://rocketmoney.com/omni. And again, special thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video. This was the other clip that was cited as well. It looks like Mizkif was on a podcast, the Iced Coffee Hour with Graham. Oh man, it's been a while since I've seen Graham on the feed, man. I remember he was blowing up during COVID, and then literally is telling you how to invest for every single year, and same video every single time. What's up, guys? Graham here. I love Graham. I love Graham stuff. And anyway, what did Mizkif say? I didn't even know he was on the show.
A gaming organization back in 2020 called OTK. I'm curious, was that profitable, and what was the purpose behind doing it?
So OTK, the point of it was to basically create an org where we all make content together, and then we would one day sell the org, right? We wanted to sell OTK to a company where it's like, hey, you're in charge of this now, and we basically take a step back. At around this time of my age, I was like, I'm around when we're all 30, 35, whatever, we take a step back. There's new young blood in the OTK sphere, and we just basically chill.
Okay, so that's what it sounds like. This is basically the concept, the flow chart for every organization, right? Let's create an organization. We're all content creators, okay? Kind of feels like that's what's happening with Kai Cenat, you know? Like he took a step back and now he's got like little, like the Rakais and all these other guys that are streaming, and they take a step back from having to stream actively because they own equity in the tire of these other streamers. So yeah, it's the way that for streamers to retire, it's to bring in a new age of streamers, but have some equity with them in it as they're a part of an organization, it sounds like.
Well, that failed miserably because the truth is, orgs in general, just no one wanted to buy it. And it makes sense why you don't want to buy it, right? In 2018, it was such a hot word, org, group. 100 Thieves sold for $100 million or something like that. They made a ton of money off that deal. But when we got in too late, and all the companies started becoming smart, and they're just like, okay, well, because it was me and Asmon were the two biggest people. They're like, okay, but what happens if Mizkif and Asmon take a huge break? And we're like, oh, well, that won't happen. Well, Asmon did for 8 months. They know that. They're like, when Asmon took a break, you guys lost a lot. What happens when one of your streamers gets canceled? What happens when there's a controversy? It you over the whole business. So unless you guys are squeaky clean Teletubbies, you're basically asking for this to be a failure.
Yeah, it's not looking good. With OTK, with the people that was in there was a lot of high profile clients, bro. A lot of people in OTK, for whatever reason, ever since Schlatt left, the Grim Reaper of everything, it just seemed like there was just L on L on L's that was happening to the entire company and the people that was within it. What's interesting, right, is because I don't know if you guys know this, but Luminosity, actually, another gaming organization. Okay, this one's not like a streamer org, but it's a gaming organization, right? They actually are recently running into an issue right now, which I'll get into much later, where it sounds like they're not paying out their creators. They sold the company to another group of person, and I think it was a distressed sale. A distressed sale meaning that like they were just kind of like throwing it in there, selling it for really cheap. People call it a pump and dump essentially, and it was buying Luminosity's assets and also acquiring the liabilities, not realizing this company had a lot of liabilities. So the idea of the organization, what it sounds like, Mizkif, and what's happening with Luminosity, is that there was a point in time where gaming and esports was going crazy high and everybody was investing into it. And then people were like, wait a minute, this is not actually sustainable. And the goal is to sell your organization up here at the top. But then it stops becoming sustainable and then the hype goes down. Kind of like, what's that freaking thing? You guys remember NFTs? Pepperidge Farms remember NFTs, okay? So that whole thing went up and then it went down and started losing its value, and then people were trying to sell. Right now, it at an all-time low. So that's why maybe OTK failed. They weren't able to sell when it was at the top, and he was basically saying they came in a little bit too late, and also the liability of content creators like Asmongold and other people kind of like leaving and or getting canceled and hurting the OTK's reputation. So now they can't even sell OTK. I don't think so. I don't think it's worth anything at this point if the goal is to try to exit. I also heard rumors as well that TSM also might be disbanding as well. Okay, I need to go check into that, but I saw that they might be dropping their Valorant team. So this might be the end of like organizations and esports as we know it. I don't even know, bro. I gotta look into this now. While this happens though, at the same time, we got a lot of like Saudi Arabia money coming into the FGC, coming into Evo, coming into a lot of things as well. So there's a redistribution of wealth that's happening here with esports. There's different controls that's coming at play. But yeah, let me watch the rest of this clip because I'm yapping.
And no one took the bite. We did not get it. We got, the truth is it just didn't make sense for anyone to ever purchase. And it didn't make sense to really run and operate. So now it's very small. I don't do OTK anymore because I moved here. They're all in Texas. But the thing is, we still have Mythic Talent, which is our agency. That's under, it's an umbrella. So it's under it. And we do have Starforge systems, Starforge PCs. They're
okay. So they have Mythic Talent. Mythic Talent is a talent agency. Talent agency is when they pick up content creators, and then when they have a content creator, they bring them in and they try to help them run merch, and they try to help them run sponsors, and they try to help them run sales, and they basically take a commission for it. But in exchange, they connect them with the brands that they know offhand. That's how talent agencies work. They kind of help with the marketing side. Sometimes they don't really do too much help. Sometimes they just literally take a commission off the things that you can get by yourself. But because they can be that pivot point, like a real estate agent, except for with sponsors, right? So that's Mythic Talent. And then you've got Starforge PCs, which I think is their company that they made a while back when it came to just, I think, making PCs. So yeah, those are the three companies under the OTK umbrella. And this is Mizkif saying why it's just all shit. As for the lawsuit, okay, that reads here, it says OTK has recently learned that you have committed additional willful breaches of your owner's agreement by violating the exclusivity requirements of your talent manager representation agreement with Mythic dated January 2nd, 2023. Specifically, you engaged third-party agents to perform the agent services in direct violation, blah, 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 the term with a total estimated value of $4 million, blah, 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 blah. As such, Mythic is entitled to more than $600,000 in overdue management fees. In addition, Mythic is entitled to 5% interest per year on all overdue management fees, plus calls and attorney fees associated with enforcement of the representation agreement. Good Lord. In a matter consistent with your prior misconduct and your willful breach of the representation, clearly tend to injure the success of OTK and its affiliates, pose a present and future liability to OTK, and publicly bring OTK into disrepute, in addition to being offensive, vulgar, scandalous, and defamatory. Not only does this misconduct constitute the latest example of your habitual breach of your owner's agreement, but it sends a clear message that you do not value your relationship with the company, nor are you aligned with the company's best interest. So this might be the reason why people started to take a step back from Mizkif, because I think Mizkif at one point in time was trying to figure out, like, why don't people mess with me no more? Am I getting canceled? Something going on, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if they know, but it sounds like something happened. There was a rift, and then Mizkif was like, yeah, I'm done. See you, OTK. Started talking trash, broke some agreements, and now he owes them $1 freaking million. Here's everybody's favorite Asmongold. This is his replies to the situation that's happening in the case that I kind of mentioned briefly in the beginning.
Everybody obviously wanted to talk about the lawsuit and everything. I'm honestly not really sure what's going on with that, and so I'm not going to comment on it right now. That's really about all I have to say. Like, I don't know enough about it right now to look into it or go into it at all. But yeah, it's literally just that simple. And because obviously it involves other people, I'm just not going to comment on it at this point. I mean, I will say this, that to the extent that I can talk about it, I will. And to the extent that I know what's going on, I will let people know if I can. But obviously, you know, with something like that, it's very serious. And so I have to address it in a serious way. It's just the way it is. So, yeah. And that's really about it. I don't really want to elaborate for a number of other reasons. but that's pretty much about it.
So that's pretty much one of the smartest responses you can make, is basically saying, yeah, I don't know much about it and I can't say much about it. He probably has a lot to say about it, and he probably knows a lot about it. He's probably keeping a lot of his ammo close to his chest. Okay, that's my guess when it comes to Asmongold. It sounds like he's been prepared for this situation for a long time, and he's also been saying that if anybody else wants to come out against Mizkif to basically expose them for some of the things that he has, he basically said that he would support them and take care of their fees. Okay, which makes sense as well, because if this is a situation that's also involving mythic talent and everything as well, the more ammunition against Mizkif, the better. So my guess, to be honest, is that we might not be hearing from Mizkif for a very long time. I mean, I could be wrong, but like if he's starting this lawsuit, that means the more that he streams, the more he opens himself up to saying something that might work against him, kind of like the first stream. So yeah. Anyway, that's the Mizkif, Emory, and Asmongold situation in a nutshell right now, and I'll keep you guys posted as this happens, but this is just pretty big in the streaming space. A lot of things kind of going around, but this is one of the big chunky wongies that are floating around that people want to see if there's going to be an end to. Absolutely wild and incredible that it's happening like this in the first place, and it might be wild that we might get a situation where Asmongold sits back and live streams his own court case similar to what he did with the Johnny Depp situation that allowed him to blow up massively that he did. But yeah, I'll let you guys know what comes from this over time. So guys, we got some quick politics news, man, but something you guys want to hear. This is the big one, okay? These are the ones that you don't want to miss, all right? From the Democrats here by Fiandro, saying that the Democrats won the mayoral election in New York City. Name calling ensues. It's an article by the Wall Street Journal that says, after a dream campaign, Mamdani faces the nightmare of running New York City. Okay, anyway, if you guys do not know, Mamdani won the election last night against Cuomo. I think that was the biggest running mate as well, and is now officially the mayor of New York City. This article from AP News saying that Zohran Mamdani was elected mayor of New York on Tuesday, okay, capping a stunning ascent for the 34-year-old far-left state lawmaker who promised to transform city government to restore power to the working class and fight back against a hostile Trump administration. In a victory for the Democratic Party's progressive wing, Mamdani defeated former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican Curtis Sliwa. Mamdani must now navigate the unending demands of America's biggest city and deliver on ambitious, skeptics say unrealistic, campaign promises. With his commanding win, the Democratic Socialist will etch his place in history as the city's first Muslim mayor, the first of South Asian heritage, and the first born in Africa. He will also become New York's youngest mayor in more than a century when he takes office on January 1st. Obviously, the Trump administration not very happy with this result, okay? It says here he has already faced scrutiny from national Republicans, including President Donald Trump, who have eagerly cast him as a threat and the face of a more radical Democratic Party that is out of step with mainstream America. Trump has repeatedly threatened to cut federal funding to the city and even take it over if Mamdani won.
I'm so torn because I would like to see the new mayor do well because I love New York. I really love New York. When I left New York for Washington, New York was doing really well, but there were some bad signs. The bad sign was a guy named de Blasio. So the signs of de Blasio, that was the beginning, and it was bad. This one, we're going to look. For 1,000 years, communism has not worked. Communism, or the concept of communism, has not worked. I tend to doubt it's going to work this time.
Did you see his victory speech?
It's literally never worked. Yeah, I thought it was a very angry speech, certainly angry toward me, and I think he should be very nice to me. You know, I'm the one that sort of has to approve a lot of things coming to him, so he's off to a bad start.
At one point he says, turn the volume.
I love it. He's like, he should be very nice to me because I have the power, bro. You have to go through me, so you should be nice to me, bro. Like almost like it kind of shows like how Trump is, how he works. If you're nice to him, he gives you things. If you're not nice to him, he takes it away. Like that's like that's just how he works.
So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
How do you respond to that? Does that affect anything you're going to do?
It's a very dangerous statement for him to make, actually. And, you know, you talk about danger. I think it's a very dangerous statement for him to make. He has to be a little bit respectful of Washington, because if he's not, he doesn't have a chance of succeeding. And I want to make him succeed. I want to make the city succeed. I don't want to make him succeed. I want to make the city succeed. and we'll see what happens.
Did you see reaching out to him?
I would say he should reach out to us, really. I think he should reach out. Right. I'm here. We'll see what happens, but I would think that it would be more appropriate for him to reach out to us.
So speaking of reaching out, is there...
So, yeah, I think that's the interview, basically. But, yeah, Trump is like, be nice to me, bro. And also, you got to reach out to me because I'm the president. I don't know how that usually works. I don't know if, like, presidents reach out to mayors when they win. I think that if it was probably maybe a Republican, if it was Kumo, it might, I don't know. That's probably how it worked. But yeah, obviously Donald Trump sounds like he has a plan in place for Mamdani, or saying that he has a plan and maybe not have a plan. As for everything else you need to know about Election Day, there's an article by CBS News saying that Democrats sweep key races in 2025 elections and the early referendum on Trump. What to know about Election Day 2025? Democrats scored victories in the 4 major races of the night. Okay, the New York City mayoral race, which we just talked about, the governor's races in New Jersey and Virginia, and Prop 50, which we'll talk a little bit more about Prop 50, California's redistricting ballot measure, and exit polling showed voters went to the polls with worries about the economy on their minds, coupled with broader discontent with the state of the country right now. I saw 2 kinds of Democrats win, okay, hailing from opposite sides of the party. We have Mikey Sherrill and Abigail Spanberger. Both moderates won the governorships of New Jersey and Virginia. Virginia flipped blue, while on the far left, Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani prevailed in his race for New York mayor, which we just got finished talking about. And then this one's pretty big. California voters said yes to Proposition 50. You might have heard about Proposition 50 or Prop 50, which will allow state legislators to redistrict before the midterm elections, an effort to counter GOP-led gerrymandering in other states. CBS News polling found those who support Prop 50 overwhelmingly cite opposition to the Trump administration as a reason. TLDR of Prop 50, if you guys are not aware of anything, let me show, how do I explain this like you're kind of 5, okay? Here's the best way to think of Texas, okay? It's a state. All right. And it's a puzzle piece. And there's a lot of little tiny puzzles. Okay. And usually there is a commission that basically draws the lines on Texas to say which places are split up in districts. Okay. The entire state is split up in districts. And then those districts are used for votes. Okay. What Texas is doing is saying like, hey, we would like to redraw the lines in order to basically make it so that we can get more Republican seats. We can get more Republican seats. We can make Texas 1,000% flip red. So we're going to go ahead and draw the lines in the districts in a way that basically maximize our efforts. So Prop 50 was a response to that, saying, hey, we're going to do the same thing with California, by the way. Temporarily, we're going to put the commission and they're going to go to the side. And for the next 4 to 6 years, we are going to change the lines of the puzzle pieces in the districts so that there's a higher chance for California 100% flipping blue. The point is to try to get more Congress seats in the future when there is a re-election. Does that make sense? So just basically changing the puzzles so they can get more power, and Prop 50 was a response to that. So yeah, guys, that's Mamdani. All right, that's Election Day. That's what's been happening. That's Prop 50 that you kind of need to know about, a response to the gerrymandering accusations that's happening in Texas. And now you guys need to know as well as the government shutdown that seems like it could be ending potentially so that people can fly. The U.S. government has been shut down for 35 days now, 36 if you're watching this today, tying the record for the longest shutdown in history, which was set in 2018-29. Donald Trump was president during both shutdowns. So the largest government shutdowns, both happening under the Trump administration. This Grok article here says the U.S. government shutdown entering its 37th day stems from partisan disputes over healthcare and border security funding, leaving 800,000 federal workers unpaid and essential services disrupted. President Donald Trump has defied court orders by withholding full SNAP benefits for 42 million recipients, issuing only partial payments that are overwhelming food pantries and cause families to skip meals. Democrats have blocked multiple Senate votes to end the impasse, though post-election bipartisan talks offer potential resolution amid threats to holiday travel from flight cuts and TSA delays. TLDR. People need to fly. Okay, they want to travel. From what I understand, people in TSA currently right now are working without pay. And if I have to say, if there's one group or administration that I would want them to not be working without pay, it's probably the people that are flying like big old megaton airplanes flying around. I think they need an incentive to kind of stay, right? But yeah, they're suggesting like, yeah, this is not something that can go throughout the holidays if it's going to affect everybody. Okay. A lot of people are trying to figure out if this shutdown is going to hurt a specific group. The long and short of it is that it's affecting everybody. Okay. Poor people who need SNAP benefits are on both sides of the spectrum here. So it's hurting everybody essentially, but it's going to creep into the people who are not poor. This is going to creep into the TSA and the flights because people still want to travel for the holiday. From here, I believe the issue here is optics. Okay, there's some people who are willing to kind of like watch people kind of like starve. You know, there's some people feel like what's happening with the SNAP benefits is that it's being like misused, so they're kind of like, yeah, let's let people starve in order for the bad apples to kind of like get weeded out and get all the fraud, is what some of the people on the right are claiming. However, what's now happening is when it comes to TSA and the flights, the optics are going to look bad on top of already bad, because now if you're not a part of the group that might get snapped, you might be part of the group of people who want to travel for the holidays. Okay, so you're getting to a place now where the shutdown is impacting you on both sides, whoever you support, and you're like, okay, this is not looking good. This government shutdown is not working well, and it needs to be fixed immediately. It might make people a lot of upset, and it might make some parties start swaying in directions they don't want to go. They're trying to figure out who to pin the blame on, and the longer this draws out, it looks like it might be worse for the Trump administration, which is why they're trying to say that it looks like it might be opening up pretty soon within the next 2 weeks or so. That's just kind of like speculation. Nobody knows for sure. That's kind of like what the different articles are talking about. I'll let you guys know, but that's the politics update that you need to know, okay? 2025 election, Mom Donnie, you know, the government shutdown still going. Things are still going in place. Prop 50 versus Texas. Okay, these politics streets are not safe. I'll keep you guys posted as things keep happening. All right, guys, time to blitz. Time for me to fill your heads with a lot of information in a short period of time. Okay, Wolf Phoenix, a lot of you guys asked me to talk about this really quickly. Okay, Nintendo apparently has dropped a lot of their numbers. Okay, and apparently they are, again, obviously super successful. Okay, this Nintendo does not know how to take an L. Well, I think they might be taking some L's when it comes to copyright strikes, when it comes to Pokemon or something like that. But when it comes to selling systems, no, these guys never freaking lose. It reads here, 400 million Nintendo accounts have been created, 128 million annual playing users, bro. 84% of Switch 2 players transition from Switch. Okay, so 9 out of 10 people who had a Switch also bought a Switch 2. That's a huge conversion rate, bro, because Nintendo Switch is one of the biggest, best selling games of all time. I think it's like right behind the PlayStation 2, I believe. Yeah, I think it's right behind the PlayStation 2. They're preparing for more movies in the future. So we got Super Mario Galaxy in 2026. And then we got that Zelda movie that's coming in 2027. So now they're going to be taking over your TVs and your movies. I don't know if you guys know, man, but when it comes to gaming and anime, they are absolutely destroying the box office. The box office is filled with, we are here. Gamers and anime, we're here, bro. We're not even just here. We are at the front, man. We are taking over, bro. Minecraft movie, like gaming movie. Back in the day, gaming and anime movies was kind of like laughed upon, scoffs, like, look at these guys trying to hit Breach. Now, freaking Chainsaw Man is making more money than, oh my God, with like a $4 million budget. That's the craziest thing, is the profit. When it comes to making anime, a $4 million budget, and they've made over $100 million, and it's only been like 2 weeks. That's ridiculous. Let's not even talk about Demon Slayer. 950 million downloads on mobile apps. Oh, that's it. It's GG's. The race war. The console war is over, right? There's no way. Like, didn't just Xbox just announce that Halo is going to be like on another system? Like, it's gone. So what is Xbox supposed to do? And then Sony, what did they, at this point, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I feel like was going to happen. You're going to have Nintendo, and then you're just going to have PC. But here's the thing. You need an Xbox. Nintendo needs competitors. Otherwise, it's going to get a monopoly, right? Like, they need Xbox and PC. They need them to fight, from what I'm understanding, because if you have just Nintendo as one of the only consoles out there, I don't know if that's going to work out. I need to kind of look into that. What would happen if both Xbox and PlayStation, I guess they would always exist, they would just not be exclusive. They would never sell exclusive. They would just sell games together. They need to merge or join forces or something. But the exclusives there are just gone. Therefore, there's no point buying one or the other. It's just which system you prefer and which tiny exclusive you can get from one or the other, like Ghost of Yotag. The homie visually said, when you going live? I think today. Probably today. I woke up super early to make today's video because I got to go to an appointment and stuff. I have to wake up earlier in order to do stuff with you because I got more things I got to do throughout the day, and I'm still working on that secret project and I'm almost done. Then I'm going to ready soon. But yeah, I'll probably go live today. I want to play Dispatched. Everyone's been talking about this game, Dispatch. They say, Omni, you got to play Dispatch. Apparently, it's got crazy numbers. Dispatch has sold 1 million copies in 10 days. I don't even know what this game is about. I don't even know what this game is about. Is this the game that has the sex? The sexy sexes? Is that what this is? Is that all I really know? But I don't even know what this game is about. And I feel like I want to play it. So if you guys want to watch me, twitch.tv/InfernoOmni. I'll probably be playing this tonight. There's also some stories that you guys want me to cover as well that I think I'll save for Twitch as well that are a little bit more convoluted that I got to kind of do some research on before I bring it to you guys here. So we'll probably rough draft it kind of thing before I come back to here to bring to you guys what I've summarized and learned, especially this VTuber. There's some VTuber stuff that I need to catch up on that's absolutely wild. Also, what you guys probably need to know, Will Phoenix also telling me here that The Simpsons are noun and Fortnite. That's right. This is one of the big chunky wungies in terms of like Fortnite picks up because it's The Simpsons. I feel like this should have happened a long time ago. But yeah, you can go out there with Homer, Marge, Ned Flanders. If I was to play Fortnite, I'd probably be a Ned Flanders main because that's just my guy. But yeah, if you guys want to play some Fortnite, you want some Simpsons, there's a lot of funny clips out there. Meme Tindo said a bunch of news just dropped from Paramount, man, and it's not great, and they want Warner Brothers badly. That's right. If you guys don't know, yeah, Warner Brothers is basically is almost getting acquired by Paramount. I believe they kind of already said no to the deal, but they're trying to buy them out, man. Warner Brothers will announce whether or not it plans to sell by Christmas this year. If Warner Bros. Decides not to sell to go in another direction, Paramount has discussed potentially taking an offer directly to shareholders and performing a hostile takeover. WB, oh my lord, bro, WB Kids and WB, that was my childhood, man. And now they're getting bought out by Paramount. I don't know if that's good news or bad news, to be honest. I'm not exactly sure, but it's a thing, and it's going down. My TM said, please read One Piece, bro. No, I don't want to. Okay, I'm good with just watching it and then chilling. All right, I don't feel like reading. Okay, I do read. I like reading books. I don't want to read the manga, man. Leave me alone. I like to watch the animation. Okay, just go away. Why all the manga people? You gotta read it, Omni. You gotta read it. Okay, I'm here. I'm in the field, bro. What's up with y'all manga readers? You need to read the book. No. Stop it. I'm telling y'all, man, I would go on an entire rant when it comes to manga readers, man, because I feel like those guys just like to get ahead of the game and they'd be like, hey guys, I know so much more than you do. Okay, no spoilers, right? But you're going to get ready to cry soon, okay? Well, just let you know, if you have a favorite character, don't hold on to him anymore. I can't. I have a disdain. One of the reasons, y'all know that I don't like spoilers, okay? Look, we can be racist. We can say whatever we want. We can do all these stuff. I'm allowed everything when it comes to streaming in my friend group. But I have literally stopped being friends with people that I've known for a while. And I've just been like, bow. Because they can't respect the number one rule that I have in my life, which is no spoilers, bro. Do not ruin my favorite mediums for your enjoyment. I understand now as an adult why it made me so livid. Back then, people would be like, man, that's a weird thing to break up friendship for. But it's not. Now that I recognize it, imagine somebody taking pleasure and joy in ruining an experience that you can never get back by unveiling information to you that takes away from your favorite mediums. That's crazy. You know what that's like? That's like you about to eat food and then someone takes the taste away from it. And now that's what that is. That's insane. That's what literally spoilers are for those people who like to spoils, okay? So if you guys have any friends, oh, this is a rant right now. Here we go. If you have any friends that are people who like to do spoilers, get them out your life. They're bad people, okay? They're just like people who don't like pets. They're dangerous. These spoilers people are dangerous. Keep them out of your lives, all right? I'm not capping. Hanto Karakita said a whole lot of YouTubers being false taken down because of the IE moderation, most notable being Enderman's second channel. That's something that I'm going to say for the stream that I got to go look into because I heard this is pretty multifaceted. A lot of YouTube channels are being taken down because of AI moderation incorrectly, bro. YouTube is trying to do this thing where it basically hones in on AI and gets rid of certain channels that are using it inappropriately because there's inappropriate uses of AI, which is going to be kind of crazy because there are so many faceless YouTube channels that exist that are just literally all AI. Literally Morgan Freeman's everywhere giving you speeches on how to live your best life type shit videos and taking people's, it's so much. AI is so crazy. Now we're getting people like Japan and other countries and other companies are suing ChatGPT and OpenAI for their, usage of stealing their information, their data, right? The blowback of what's happening, of the slop of just basically allowing them to steal nonstop is starting to come back, and people are starting to rack up the lawsuits, and we'll see what comes from it. But yeah, this is something I need to check out as well, on top of just AI in general. I feel like we could just be making videos like going forward a lot about this advancement of AI. AI is a force. It's not going to stop. Is literally going to take over everything in some kind of way. The question is how fast, how strong, what are the impacts, and what do you need to be worried about? Okay, I really hope y'all are staying on top of the game when it comes to AI. When I say this, there is an AI race. Okay, remember when countries were basically racing to go to the sky? Remember the sky race? Remember when everyone was racing to go to the moon, see if they can land on the moon and stuff? Now we have the same thing, but with AI. Countries like China and everyone are trying to get ahead of AI because whoever becomes the leading person of AI in the country are going to have a lot of power and control. It's more so than not. This is the next age. It's an age that we're entering that's going to be massive. So if you're not following or catching up with AI, you're going to get swept and left behind by it. Pacepool said we got new FNAF Movie 2 trailer. Tickets are on sale night. That's right, guys. 5 Nights at Freddy's 2, December 5th. It's happening, okay? I didn't watch the first one. I just know the memes, and I don't do scary. You guys know me. I don't do scary, okay? I just don't. Why? It hurts. It hurts. So I'm just not going to put myself towards it. I cannot understand I get it why people want to be afraid and stuff, but I just can't, man. You know what? I don't like the scary that just like this shock scary. I like psychological damage. I like emotional damage. I like tension. I like, oh my God, I'm stressed type stuff. That I can work with because it feels, I don't know, inviting. I'm like it feels consensual. You know what I'm saying? But when someone's just jumping in front of my face and scaring the mess out of me just because it's just a super fast thing and it's a loud noise, bro, I'm like, bro, isn't that like a whole point? Like when it comes to human beings that we're afraid of loud noises, it's just literally triggering my fight or flight for no reason outside to just trigger it, right? There's that's it. Just wah! And then that's the genre. No, I don't want that. I don't want it. And we'll end here, bro. Emily in Boston said K-pop Demon Hunters is getting a sequel in 2029 and an appearance at this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. But K-pop Demon Hunters coming out in 4 years. Bro, don't even tell me. Again, you guys know how I feel. If you have something that's coming out and it's not within the next year, maybe two, depending on it, leave me alone. I don't want to know, bro. I hate, does it work for them to let people know that? What does it do to tell people that something's coming out in 40 years that's going to get delayed for another year? I'm trying to understand, like, I guess it keeps it relevant to say that they're working on it, but I prefer to be like, yo, hey, by the way, I know you haven't heard about K-pop Demon Hunters in a while. Bam! Hit me in the face, slap me in the face with this news and be like, oh my God, and give me a nice shock. I can't believe it. That's how I feel about Incredibles 3. Where is Incredibles 3? Did we ever get an Incredibles 3? Wait a minute. Am I misremembering? Chat, did we get an Incredibles 3? Wait a minute. Pixar's The Incredibles marks 21st anniversary with fan praise and Incredible 3 news. Huh? Shh. Don't. So Incredibles 3 is like one of those, I don't know. Incredibles is one of the best movies of all time. And I know you've heard me say something is the best movie of all time. Incredibles is up there. It's got to be top 10. It's got to be like top 10 animations, okay? It's up there. It's incredible. It's a perfect movie, bro. It's so freaking good, man. Oh my. Pixar's The Incredibles, directed by Brad Bird and released on November 5th, 2004. grossed $631 million worldwide and won Oscars for Best Animated Feature and Best Sounding. Fans on X are sharing nostalgic moments, calling it Pixar's best film for its superhero family story and action. Pixar has announced that Incredibles 3 for 2028, along with 3D re-releases of the original. We are getting it? Oh my God. So I needed to live for Grand Theft Auto 6. But now I got to live, and then I have to also live. There's a couple of reasons why I have to live. There's a couple of reasons why I have to keep living on this earth. I have to play Grand Theft Auto 6. I have to finish One Piece. And now you're saying I got to live till 2028 so that I can watch Incredibles 3, bro? Just let me go. Let me go. Well, all right, outside of that and just eating food, it seems like I still have reasons to live. All right, guys, that's all for today's video. All right, I'm gonna get out of here so I can go edit this video, and then you guys can catch me on stream, twitch.tv/Omni. I'll probably be playing today or streaming today, okay? Covering some of the things we didn't cover and some of the big ones we didn't cover as well, and then anything else that happens throughout the day. And then, yeah, I'll probably make a video for you guys coming up soon as well. You know, it'll happen. All right. Let me stop yapping because I'll spend another 3 minutes saying it's just nothingness, all right? I love y'all. Take it easy. Stay safe on these streets because these streets ain't safe. And brush your freaking teeth and don't get halitosis. Don't get periodontal. Did you guys know that if you do not brush your teeth, your gums become infected? And if your gums get infected, it can impact your brain. You can die, bro. Like, I'm dead cap. I'm not capping, man. Like, ignoring the fact that you're not getting the hoes. Imagine the fact that you're not getting any of the girls, right? They will run from you. Run the other way forever and ever and ever. You might have been like, oh, wow, this guy's really cute and blah, 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 blah. Oh, and it's gone. It's gone. Attraction gone. Ignore that, bro, right? That you will never be able to like produce or create any offspring because your breath is so stinky, okay? But it can kill you. I'm not lying. It's a thing. All right? Okay, sorry. Bye.